Welcome to another episode of Victoria's Lounge from the Radisson Blu Hotel. Every now and then, every woman needs a girl's night out, or in this case, a girl's night in. You know, time to let your hair down, stuff your face with the junk food that you've been avoiding all month, and of course, talk about everything. So let's get the convo started and meet the other girls. Shiko Nguru is a mother of two and a parenting and lifestyle vlogger. She uses her YouTube channel, The Green Calabash, to share an open and honest take on parenthood, womanhood, and everything in between. Maggie Gitu is a marriage, family, and sex therapist. She holds a master's degree in marriage and family therapy and specializes in sexuality, couples, and general mental health issues, in addition to facilitating seminars. She has some interesting insights. Stay tuned. Christine Mweteli is an international inspiration speaker and training consultant. She's the author of the popular inspirational book, Play to Win. A wife and mother, she enjoys visiting new places, watching legal dramas, and hosting social events. Hashtag Victoria's Lounge is how you can chime into the conversation on social media. We always love to hear from you. I'm excited about this girls' night in. Even though we're not in loungewear or pajamas, I know you had asked that, Maggie. Like, oh, we should have done that. Maybe next time, right?
That would be very an idea.
So we have a game of Scrabble here. I haven't played this in years, by the way.
Me neither.
So, you or Christine, you're the one who kind of knew how to go about this.
I remember her. I haven't done this except on digital for a while.
Okay.
But basically, it's about creating words. It's about creating words out of a set of 7 letters that you have.
Yeah.
And then there's a score.
Okay.
So each letter is supposed to join to the basic letter.
So we randomly pick
Seven
pieces.
You pick 7.
All right.
Any other rules?
1, 2, 3.
No other rules. The words are going to be either up or across.
So we rotate the board or something?
Yes, we could rotate the board to the person
to
who's
see
playing
the letters.
upwards.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Now, as we're picking the letters, you guys saw that recent article of one Jacqueline Wende. Of course, tragic story.
Yeah.
The woman who was attacked by her husband. Now, initially, the story was she could not conceive, and hence he hacked her arms off. And she has now since admitted that she was unfaithful. And basically what the story was saying is she found another gentleman who she's kept secret to help her conceive. They made an arrangement. They're not together. And now she is a couple months pregnant. The husband actually was reacting to her infidelity. That's what that incident was about. Now, not to justify his actions, because of course gender-based violence is totally unacceptable.
Yes.
But, and you know, it's funny because the headline says, don't judge me, but this is what I did. I mean, what do you make of that? Because it was a huge, not just a national, but international story as well. So many organizations came. She got prosthetic arms and got a house.
She got a house, yeah.
So what do we make of Jacqueline?
There are 2 issues. There's the issue of violence. Intimate partner violence is a big deal. It's a big issue here in our society. And also the extreme, how extreme he was. It wasn't just that he hit her. He was so severe. He wasn't the one that cut her hands off from the paper. It was the doctors who were unable to salvage what was left.
Right, so they had to amputate.
They amputated her because of how violent her husband had been. I feel like the infidelity bit, for me as a therapist, I don't really react to the thing I can see. What I can see is infidelity, but what I'm looking for is what is that infidelity rooted in, because that's what we need to solve, just like with violence. Yeah.
And hers was the desire to have a child.
Yes.
Right?
I think that there's a lot we don't know about that marriage. Now, I'm not saying she should, if you're asking, should she have stepped out of her marriage to have a baby? I don't know that it's anything I can really make a comment on. For one thing, it's been happening for a really long time.
Yeah.
It's been happening consciously, where people just go do it and never say a word about it. It's been happening even in families where somebody can't have kids. So the family covers that up, and you even get people who have kids and you adopt them silently.
Right.
Infidelity exists in a context. I've never met anybody who just went out and just out of the clear blue sky had a long-term affair.
I think what was interesting is because he had left, she was living in their home for a good 3 months, so he wasn't there. And he got wind of this affair she was having and then reacted. So, I mean, he definitely overstepped beyond that because he probably didn't want to be in the marriage anymore.
And he abandoned her 3 months?
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's why I say infidelity exists in a context. If you ask, should you cheat on your husband? The answer is no, in my opinion. Should you cheat on your wife? The answer, in my opinion, is no.
Yeah, I mean, and people who backed her, I guess, or supported her decision said the pressure that a woman who is married and can't conceive or barren, the shame that comes with, especially in an African context. And Christine, we were talking about this a bit earlier on, that people make ways of this thing happening to, you know, to actually have the child. But what do you make of her situation?
In as much as this is not completely excusable, it's understandable on both parties. Because the pressure from our society to have a child is enormous. It's completely unfair, if you ask me. Our society tends to make you feel like marriage is an achievement.
Right.
Like you've achieved a husband. Now, one, two, you should achieve the husband and not have a child. Because a child is something you achieve. You know, is this baby given a chance to be a private person? Because this is another individual. This person going to have their own life.
It's a human being.
You totally take their privacy away from them because they're a public figure long before they're ever born, before they even know their name.
That's
you
the
know?
thing.
Now, there's the pressure on society to have a child. You must have a child. Immediately you've been married, you must have a child. So the man would never be able to stand up in public if he didn't have a child. And you know, whenever you can't have a child in Africa, it's the woman's fault. So now the pressure is on Jacqueline to have a child. So I can see wisdom in wanting to have a child to save her marriage. I can maybe not excuse it, but I can understand it.
So basically to kind of help his image and give him some sort of dignity. However, she was seen in the town with the other guy.
But so I think that's what went completely wrong.
Look, defending her, I don't know but according to the paper, she wasn't gallivanting with him to be seen.
No.
They met up and went to a place because she didn't want to bring
him
to her matrimonial bed, which I think for her was an element of respect for her husband.
Right.
And she wasn't going like to a place where, you know, just down the road where people could see her. Her husband took the step to ask his neighbors to spy on her. Well, if you go to a cemetery, you're going to find graves. I'm not sure what the surprise is. He went out of his way to look for her doing something. He went looking for trouble. He found trouble.
But see, the thing is, he was aware of the affair, and that's why he left also. So even before the whole attack,
there had been an affair, because she said they had dated before and only came together just to get her pregnant, and since then they have
moved since separated, right?
So it wasn't a romantic like dalliance. It was more like let's get together.
Let's
so
do
you
this.
can
You do this for me.
Yes.
She was doing this just to get a child to save her marriage.
Yes.
And that's why I kind of believe that she was doing this to save maybe her husband's image, maybe her own image as a woman in society to have a child. So that's why I feel like I don't think she was doing this, you know,
of course
for
not,
a love
but
affair.
Inadvertently she killed his ego.
You see, if it was something we could talk about, even with our closest and our dearest, if it was something we could talk about, maybe she should have had wisdom. Maybe she should have had someone advise her, listen, there's adoption.
Or there are other options that can be handled in a different way.
In a different
Other
way.
ways
But
to have a child.
when the story first came out, they said, somebody said that she was the one who couldn't get pregnant, right?
Yes.
And she's pregnant now.
Exactly.
So it wasn't
So it
her
also
problem.
vindicates the fact that, look, he's been doing this or saying
was
this
him.
about me.
Yeah.
I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
So
Right.
clearly the problem is not
Right.
me.
Right.
Right? And I feel like we've created a society in which people are feeling now they need to go to such extreme lengths for something that has very little to do with you. So when a woman can't have children and you shame her, you're basically calling yourself God. You're telling her, I'm the one who knows what's best for you. You are a failure. And yet there's millions of like DNA things, logistical, biological
it's a miracle in
things.
itself, this the whole process, you're right.
And so we need a society to have, it's compassion but also humility. I think it speaks to me of arrogance.
No one stops to think. We're just so
Right.
indifferent because you're so focused on yourself
Exactly.
that we're very indifferent to how this might affect the other person. Just the same way we're saying, all right, so I'm all, the society wants me to have a baby, or I must have a baby. Is anybody thinking about the baby?
Yes.
Good question, because you saw something very interesting on the interwebs.
I really did.
Yes.
I was totally surprised. So in one of my WhatsApp groups, somebody shared a link. So I told you I always get told things. I feel like to take the first bullet. And I read the article. The title was something about they don't want to fall in love. They just want to co-parent. And I thought, oh my God, this is one of those super millennial ideas.
Super millennial.
But I read it and I actually told my friends, you know, I'm not as put off by this as I thought I would be. I'm not telling you to do it. I don't even know that I would do it. But they're basically talking about people who have said, love isn't happening for me. I want to be a parent. I don't want to go the donor route because it's just so impersonal.
Right.
So here's this guy, my friend or my colleague or whatever, he wants kids, I want kids. Why don't we have a child together and co-parent in its truest sense of the word?
But not being a romantic
But not being a
relationship.
romantic relationship. So it takes the pressure off of romance. And
But there's still a relationship because you're still going to interact with the individual
absolutely
to
do.
raise the child.
Yeah.
They're going about this arrangement selfishly, like you were saying, because when you go dating, it's me. That's fine because you're trying to find love for yourself. But when you go into parenting, it's for
it's
a
us.
child.
Yeah, it's us for this person.
You know, and I'm just thinking about the emotional toll it could take on a child who they didn't choose to be in that situation. And the ideal at the end of the day, and I'm speaking as a single parent, is having both parents in the picture. You know, and even if you're a single parent, you making the efforts to at least have the other parent there is very important. But ideally, both parents should be there, at least in a relationship, for it to be a fruitful kind of family situation. I feel it's sad that we kind of get to that point where people, you know, are not willing to wait. You know, it's also a character building process that you wait until you find the right person to eventually now have a family with. People have not gone that path, but I feel that's usually the way you should go.
I co-parent my firstborn, my daughter, with her dad. And it's difficult. I don't know if I would intentionally, like I would go into a relationship knowing that would be the outcome. I think it's kind of, it's a little bit unfair to do it knowingly. I mean, it shouldn't be your intention to have this kid have to choose where he's spending Christmas or go back and forth between homes. I just think it's a bit...
It's destabilizing for a child because it needs stability.
To do it intentionally is a bit much.
Because even when we say the ideal is for two parents to be present, what we're really talking about, it's not just the two physical people. Because how many two-parent homes do we know?
Very active, you know.
Yeah, so it's about engagement to...
Yes, exactly.
And to look at that, it's to look at that. You're
joking. On
what?
I can multitask. I'm a woman.
Oh my God.
Hello.
I have like
seriously?
4-letter word.
I think I have like a 3-letter word.
What is that?
If codeine is something to do with medicine. I'm
Yeah.
feeling really clever.
It's a drug,
Codeine
right?
is something to do with
But flip the letters.
Flip the letters?
D-I-E. D-E-I-N.
Codeine?
Codeine. It's spelled...
Codeine is spelled like that.
D-E-I-N.
C-O-D-E-I-N.
Oh, N at the end. So flip the E and N.
Codeine.
Oh, really?
Codeine.
I have no idea what she's saying. Is she saying this?
Yes.
E-I.
And then put the N last.
I and then the N last.
The N last.
Codeine?
Yes.
I bet
I
it
think
is.
so.
Still right.
Hang on, during the break we'll check.
I think so because we
I
need
think the
to.
first one was right.
I don't think the first one, but
It's called something codeine and it has to do
I'm
with
sure
cough syrup.
codeine is a...
Twitter will tell us what it
painkiller.
is by now. Which, on that note, let's take a short break here on Victoria's Lounge. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Victoria's Lounge. We're still trying to figure out
What was your score?
this thing. We're trying to get the score together. I haven't even played yet. I'm still trying to figure out what's my word.
Conversation is more fun.
I'm telling you, it's taken over. But something interesting happened with Serena Williams, who I love.
Yes.
I absolutely love her. She's just amazing. So of course she did the Sports Illustrated swimsuit spread. And she was very scuntery crud, but she looked amazing. She did. And I think it brought up the question of body image once more. Because, and she's been honest. I remember in an article in December last year, she said, there was a time where I just did not like my body shape.
Yeah.
You know, I was not comfortable in it at all. And then she says, I only started to really accept it when I could see what my body could do. You know, because my body is this way, because I'm built this way, I'm able to be a top seed in tennis, you know. And then she said, now my body's in style, you know. So she really like accepted. And I found it interesting because people are really bashing her now and saying, oh gosh, why is she flaunting her assets now? And I'm like,
What?
people, you said she wasn't feminine enough.
Yeah.
Now,
You know, and we can't show you the pictures. You can go Google on your own. I mean, what do you make of her having to now deal with this flack all over again for something totally different?
It makes me so mad.
I was dying
I
to
mean, I love Serena. Let me just say that. And this is a woman who's been bashed for being too muscular. Other tennis players have even told her it's like playing with a man because she has all these muscles.
Right.
And now here she is. First of all, it was the swimsuit edition, so she was going to be scantily clad anyway.
Because swimsuits being
Swimsuits
what they
and
are.
Sports Illustrated.
Yes.
So it was going to, I mean, she was going to be showing some melanin in that shoot. So when I saw her, I'm like, she's showing people that her strong is beautiful.
Exactly.
Her muscles are beautiful.
Yes.
You don't have to be tall, blonde, lean like Sharapova to be sexy. Her black, her strong is sexy.
Right,
So I was like, Serena, flaunt all those assets.
I took it really personally. It really offended me. I saw it on Twitter and I saw it was a discussion about why are white women offended when black women, and I don't like when people fight. To me, that's just creating. But I clicked on it because I do like Serena. And then I saw they really had a point. When it was Miley Cyrus, seriously, 99% naked on stage. 99, she was probably 99.99. And they said, oh, she's a feminist. And then Serena in a swimsuit has lost the feminism.
Really?
I was really offended because when you are succeeding and are at the top of your game, there's always people there ready to pull you
down.
Yeah.
Yes.
And this isn't...
And women.
Yeah.
That
These
is
were
the
women
most
who were
important
doing
the
it.
deal.
That's just
They did the
most
same thing
yeah.
with Beyonce.
Oh yeah, with
Yes.
the twins. Oh Lord.
She's
Yes.
pregnant. I mean, and I'm
I
just
was so
saying she's
excited
an
for her.
artist.
Yeah.
If I was pregnant and I showed up at my local church in a goddess uniform, that might be a bit much. But she's at the Grammy.
Queen May.
She's doing
She's
a good-
performing. And they said, the performance was blasphemous, you know, and all
Virgin
that.
Mary. I didn't buy that either. Like regular people do pregnancy announcements their way.
All the time.
Beyonce is an artist. She's there to provoke, to entertain. So
Right.
of course her
She's gonna
announcement
do
is
it.
What
going
was
to
she
be
gonna
extra.
do?
They wanted her to just put a picture of the sonogram on Instagram. No,
She's gonna do. And actually, I wasn't even wild about her photo shoot, but that had to do with the photographer.
I guess.
just thought they didn't do a very good job. But to tell her, oh, she's no longer a feminist, you need to take several seats.
Several.
First of all, Demi Moore did the very first naked shoot pregnant.
Yes, she did. I remember
Did
that.
she or did she not?
Yes.
Underwater, no clothes, not a stitch, not even
Yeah.
like the stray serviette in the water, nothing.
Not even a
But
week.
she was a feminist.
To cover
but
the unmentionables.
Beyonce with a crown and girl.
Of course, they know better. Someone like Beyonce or Serena in their class, not to pay attention to the haters. But there are a lot of women who don't.
Yeah.
Right? The everyday regular woman who's like, oh, someone commented negatively, maybe they'll take the picture down actually at times, you know, because they feel I have wronged someone. How do we kind of get women to just look past that? And not think like, should I be mindful every time I post something on social media, just in case, you know, it gets on someone's nerves or offends
You know
them?
the cliche that says sticks and stones are thrown at trees that have fruit? If no one is saying anything about you, you're probably not doing anything.
So do something
just
worth
get
talking
used,
about.
doing
get
it.
used to people talking about you,
Yeah.
and there's going to be haters. I mean,
Yeah.
if you just figured it goes with the territory,
Yes.
then
Yes.
you're good.
Yes.
You don't focus too much on it.
I think as a woman, these are the things that help build our character as we allow them. So if every time somebody criticizes you, you fall apart, that's a cue that there's a part of you that needs to be strengthened a little more, right?
Right.
And what you find over time, and thanks to old age, amen, you just don't care that much.
Yeah.
You really don't. Even when you feel bad, you have your tribe of people. You have your guy friends, you have your girlfriends that you know, keep you together.
Right.
And I think men and women, I know we talk about women all the time and we're for women, but men speak for us all the time. So let me speak for them now and just say, men too should be grounding themselves around the sort of men that build them up. If you're married and you're a man and things are just not going well, instead of wallowing in your frustration and kind of taking it as a judgment, tell a guy, tell a male friend, I feel really like a crap husband because I lost my job, and because men need to help each other up as well.
Yeah.
We keep saying the boy child, but we help each other all the time. Men try to do it alone. So if you're listening to me and you're a guy, I want to encourage you to have a support system of males and females, people who have your back. So that when things like this get said, you don't totally disintegrate as a person. And it builds you up slowly. It's a slow process. But after a while, you realize I'm actually okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about being self-aware and knowing your reasons. Like, I sometimes struggle with that. And like you're saying, the beauty of age is that you learn, you know what, I know why I'm doing this. And I think that's the beauty of age as well. You mature and you realize these are my reasons.
Never that serious.
We literally will actively go and search for negative comments. And I know as someone who's a public figure, sometimes you'll just be like, so what are people saying? And you're like, why did I do that? And you have to now take a whole week to detox from what you read. And
Stop listening.
instead of actually, and you know, people say, well, it's for fear of not always looking at positive comments because you're not always that good. You actually need to get some criticism. And I'm like, and what's worse, a lot of times you'll find these trolls, it's not someone who is angry or bitter. They just want to
just
throw
get a
something
reaction
like
out
that.
of you.
Yeah, and I mean, they're doing well, but they just want like, let's see what Victoria will
happens.
say.
Yeah.
What Chico will do. You know?
It gives them relevance. It makes them feel like, oh, Victoria responded to me, so I must have done something.
Right.
And honestly, I feel like bad things thrive in secrecy. So when it's a troll, you can block them, you can ignore them, you can. But if it's somebody you know, put it out there. Let them know that I can't really talk smack about Victoria because if I do, she's going to put it out there.
Right.
So don't let people who know you, because they're trying to destroy you. Trolls are not trying to destroy you. Trolls are trying to get a reaction. But the people that know you are trying to cut you.
No,
Why are they trying to cut you? Don't let anybody. If somebody is in your life space and is trying to injure you emotionally, even physically, put it out there. If it's a troll, someone you don't know, understand
Disregard.
that their motive,
Totally
their motive is just to get a
disregard.
reaction out of you.
You
so
know what?
you have
Wake
to
up
choose.
every morning and like you. I wake up this morning, I like me. Now, if you guys happen to like me during the day, that's bonus.
I mean, that's good for you, but
Right.
I
I like me just the way I am.
first thing in the morning.
Yes.
And I think that also comes with growing older.
Yeah.
Because earlier on you're so insecure.
When you're
about
young,
your slang,
God,
or
I would not
I'd
trade.
love to love me. And
I feel like I need gray hair.
It's like, okay, now I can say what I really think. On that note, and what happened to Scrabble? Anyway,
I know, we forgot.
I attempted here, but let's take a short break. We have another game coming up. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. You're watching Victoria's Lounge. I'm really enjoying this girls' night in, not so much the scoreboard. Okay, I have to for accountability, even though I'm the show host. So Christine has 54.
She's killing it.
I don't.
Oh no, she has more. She has
Oh, sorry.
78. She has
78.
twice, guys.
Okay, next is Chico with 22.
Hey.
Maggie has 5.
Yes.
And I have 2. That's even worse saying out loud. Honestly. That was fun though.
Day in.
Good. Really good.
Meanwhile,
But she
we're like-
plays on your computer, right?
I
Or
haven't in a
tablet?
long time, but it's something I've enjoyed growing up. We used to do
my-
this a lot. We used to do this a lot at
I
home.
even forgot the rules of the game, so.
My mom
Hence
tried,
my
it didn't
score.
go well.
We did this a lot growing up.
So our next game is pretty fun, and it's going to kind of segue us into talking about ourselves. It's called Who Am I? So what we did during the break is we wrote names of famous people, dead or alive, and what the game entails is we'll put a sticky note on our forehead, and then we'll ask the other players who we are, and we'll just ask yes or no questions until we figure out who we are. All right, so who wants to go first?
I still go
Chico.
that way.
Chico, you'll go first.
get that?
So just pick
I can
randomly.
see one of the names.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Just,
Accountability.
I know. See how I'm so honest.
Okay.
So how do I
Well,
So
you
just
can
stick
stick
it,
it on
stick
your
on your forehead.
forehead, so
Hopefully it sticks,
and I won't look.
and you can't
Is
look.
this the right side or the wrong side?
That's
Turn
turn it there. That's
Yeah.
right side. That's right side. Your
Yes.
forehead.
Just
No,
nice
no.
on it.
There, the sticky side. There you go.
Sticky
Yes.
ka. It would stay stuck. Okay.
Or you can hold it. You can hold it.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
All right. So
Okay.
we've seen who it is.
Yes. Am I male or female?
Female.
Female.
Dead or alive?
Dead.
Yikes. American?
No.
Kenyan?
Yes.
Am I super awesome?
Yes.
Wangari Maathai.
Yes. Oh, that was too easy.
How did you do that so fast?
All right, I'll go next. Alrighty.
Anxious.
Okay, I can see. Oh, which side is showing the name? This side?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, it did.
Yeah, it's sticking.
Oh.
Okay. Male or female?
Male.
Dead or alive?
Alive.
Super famous or like D-list?
No, super famous.
Musician, artist?
Is that a
Musician.
yes or no question?
Oh, sorry.
ha.
Am I a musician?
Yes.
Do I do hip hop?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Am I a rapper?
No.
No.
Does my name start with a U?
No.
Girl?
I was thinking Usher.
Oh.
Am I Caucasian?
No.
Am I African American?
Yes.
Jeez. Am I in my 30s?
No.
In my 20s?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so I'm younger. Am I Trey Songz?
No.
Okay, you know what? I give up because of time. I give up because of time. So who am I?
You're Chris Brown.
Really? Come on.
We're on the topic of domestic violence.
I mean, while we're on DV, let's just throw in Chris Brown.
Right?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Am I male or female?
Female.
Am I young or old?
That's not a yes or no question.
That's
Oh, am I young?
No.
Under 50?
No.
Over 50?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Is it my first name or my first and last name?
First and last.
But you go by.
Oh, you can't.
Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
Those are not yes or no
Do
questions.
I go by my first name sometimes?
Yes.
Crap, am I a singer?
No.
Am I a actor?
No.
Yes.
Yes. Well, you have
A bit.
acted.
Yes.
Yes.
Hang
You
on
dabble.
a minute. Am I Oprah?
Yes. That's not fair. You guys got easy ones. All right. So this is Christine. Unfortunately, we had two Wangari Maathais. Two of us were thinking.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's why the other one couldn't.
I wondered what happened. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Shiko,
Yes.
let's go through because you just had baby number 2,
I just had baby number
and we wouldn't know
2.
unless you told us, which you did, and now we know.
Right, but
because you don't
it's-
look like it.
You
Well,
look
thank
amazing.
you. It's
Very nice.
You see, these are the tops you wear when you're number 1 nursing, so you need quick access, and then it kind of hides everything that's going on in this area. But yeah,
It's doing it really well.
Yes,
You really
just look
look
amazing.
amazing. Right?
Yes. Guys, he turned 8 weeks yesterday, so
Oh,
he's
wow.
a big
2
boy.
months.
2 months. Yes.
Beautiful.
So is
They're
it like
still letting
now?
you cuddle them. at
You
that.
know,
Yes,
yeah.
they're so crawling
Little.
everywhere.
Yes.
Very nice.
It's cute. I mean, it's going well. The sleep deprivation. I had forgotten. I seriously think nature makes us forget
oh yeah, that's a
after
big
we
blessing.
have
And
kids.
that's a
But yeah, I had forgotten about the lack of sleep,
Yeah.
the constant fussing. Like that age, they just fuss. They're just
Yeah.
as in, what do you want, little child? They breastfeed round the clock. So it's round the clock.
Wow.
Don't let anybody tell you different.
I've heard that about
Round
boys.
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, that's the thing. Boys are very aggressive feeders. They're like barracudas all the time, and they never get full. So, but we love him.
Awesome.
Yeah, he's and his older sister is lovely.
And you have a YouTube channel where you kind of.
Yes.
What's it like? Because you're letting people into your space.
Right. Well, you know, the YouTube channel was an extension of my blog,
Okay.
which I started 6 years ago. And I started the blog as a way to connect with other moms.
Yeah.
At the time, I was a stay-at-home mom and I was really lonely. And being a mom, you can judge yourself for so many things, and it can be kind of isolating, especially if you're not
Yeah.
surrounded by other moms.
Yeah.
So I started the channel as a way to kind of reach out to other moms, like, are you going through this as well? Do you have any tips on this? This is what I'm going through. And then last year we decided, you know what, most people consume media in a variety of ways, including, you know, visual media and videos. So let's start a YouTube channel. And so on the YouTube channel, it's kind of, you know, the same thing. I talk
Yeah.
about motherhood, parenthood, being in a relationship, and then now you get to see our life as a family of 4.
Wow. Do you feel the pressure of like, you know, I know a lot of YouTubers' content, you have to keep filling each week, you know?
Yeah, consistency is important,
Yes.
but we try not to make it like, if I don't post this week, it's not the end of the world.
Right.
We kind of do what works for our family. We don't put any undue pressure on ourselves to, you know, do this thing for the world.
Right.
It's something we enjoy, and if it gets to a point we stop enjoying, we'll stop. If we start feeling that pressure,
Just put it on.
ciao, bye.
Yeah.
Christine, you're a repeat offender on the show.
I love you.
Yeah, I mean, clearly just, you know, you and Maggie. But you want to talk about accepting you and just being content with you. You clearly have done that. I mean, just give us some tips, us young ladies still trying
I'm
to.
just sitting here listening to her because I'm just starting a YouTube channel. I'm totally admiring what you've done. And I actually did 2 posts.
Nice.
And then I reworked the whole thing. And so I'm starting over.
Yeah.
And now I'm not calling it Christine Motelli anymore. I'm calling it Play to Win, which came out of my book.
Your book, right?
And my book is all about what's uniquely you about you. You know, what has God invested in me that I could use, that I could play on to win.
Okay.
Because I'd be hopeless at hosting a TV show. That's not my gifting, right? I'd be hopeless at being a therapist. So why try? No need to compare. Find me and excel at being me, right? And that's why I was so excited when you say, just do you. It's my mantra, completely. I'm just doing me.
Yeah.
I've freed myself to be happy.
Yeah.
So that, for example, I have figured out that I couldn't do an 8-to-5 job to save my life. So whereas previously I would have been very, oh my God, I should be at work by now. And if anyone calls me, I have to sound professional. Oh, the other day my mom calls me, it's 11 a.m. and she's like, you sound like you're in the house. I'm like, yeah, Mom, I'm doing dishes. She's like, you're doing dishes? I'm like, yeah, I'm just about to travel, so I'm getting my house in order.
Wow.
I've freed myself to live my life. And it's so easy to live your life because guess what? No one's been me before.
Yeah.
So there's no script on how to be Christine Motelli.
Yeah, I like that.
You're it.
There's just no script. So what I feel led to do, and I believe that the Spirit leads all of us, and this is not a spiritual conversation, this is not me being preachy.
No, it's fine.
But all of us have a spiritual side. And if we could follow that, and there are no deadlines to it.
Yeah.
There are all of these artificial deadlines we put on ourselves, that you have to be married by this age, you have to have a child by this age. I don't think that all of these things are for everyone. And if they are for everyone, not on a particular calendar and schedule, you know. So I think if we could learn to enjoy, because when I'm chasing what you have, I'm not very grateful for what I have.
Exactly.
Yes.
Maggie, I know you wanted to talk about minding your money.
Money is tricky for me, and I feel like it's tricky for a lot of other people, but we're not allowed to say, my money isn't right. If your money is not right, you're never going to ask for help, right? So just know, where is my money and where do I want to go? And then figure out who can help you get there. Just this year, actually, starting December, I started having conversations with first myself, but I started looking at my life and saying, this and this is going really well, and then this and this, I feel like I need Jesus, right? So I actually told him, look, you gave me this gift and I thank you. You neglected to give me the knowledge of some of how to handle it. And I'm more spiritual, and so I do talk to God a lot rather than religious. And I felt that it was important for me to also take responsibility rather than going to God and telling him, you gave me this and you didn't give me this. So I've actually started forming a kitchen cabinet of my own where my finances are concerned. And so far, I have to say, it has been a really humbling, but also really exciting experience to go and tell somebody, Victoria, I'm trying to sort out my money front and I feel like you're really good with this. Do you think you could be part of my cabinet? And for them to say, oh my God, thanks for asking me, yes. And so far, I have asked 3 men, 3 male friends, who are all in their own ways doing really well in the things that I need help with. And all 3 have come on board and said, absolutely. And then these are people who know me, they know my personality, they know my character, they know what I'm about, and so they're buying into me as a person. They're not They're not buying into maybe what they can get from me. They're buying
Right.
into the fact that she's doing something that we believe in,
Yeah,
and if this
yeah.
is where she's
And you
stumbling,
want to see
then
her grow.
by all means,
Yeah.
let's help her grow.
Wonderful. Amazing. And you know, speaking of how to invest your talents or money, we actually did a segment with Diamond Property Merchants some time back. We're doing it with them again. So this is just some, you know, little tips for you women out there and how you can use your money and invest when it comes to land. Take a look at this.
Victoria's Lounge Agribusiness in association with Diamond Property Merchants.
All right, we're back here again in Bethany City, one of the agribusiness projects under Diamond Property Merchants here in Isinya. Let me tell you, Edwin, as we're driving down, I noticed the valley was really filling up with a lot of these greenhouses. Good sign for you guys.
Definitely, because one, it's no longer a rumor.
Yeah.
It's no longer just a concept on paper. I mean, whatever began as a mere land investment plus greenhouse on paper is now into practice. People are harvesting, people are getting the money, and with that already word of mouth is out there. So each and everybody wants to come and get a share of this. Yeah.
And speaking of word of mouth, Mudhoni, you're one of those individuals who said, I have to get into this.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to invest your money this way?
Initially, I used to buy plots and they would stay idle.
Yeah.
And then I got to hear this beautiful concept about Bethany City. And I decided, you know what, let me try, do farming at the same time as I'm doing my career. And I'm a mom. But what actually caught my attention is that it was hands off. Like I could actually make an income from my plot, break even within a year, and still actually say I'm a farmer.
And Edwin, you're really trying to reel in a lot more women like
Esther.
So what more can they do in terms of agribusiness?
You know what? It's so amazing that by design, ladies are the ones who are taking up this concept even more than we, the men. I don't know why. But right now, over 70% of those who bought into this concept so far are women. And they're the ones who are now advocates out there spreading the word. And still talking about real estate investment, of course, it's been proven statistically that it's the most solid investment right now we can talk about in the current economy. So when you merge it up with such a concept like agribusiness, feeding the massive population within the urban cities, as well as making money from real estate, it's just awesome. Yeah.
And Mudhoni, what have the yields been for you since you started?
The last 6 months, I've gotten 600,000. Wow. Which you see, I've put it up somewhere else so that initially after I'm done with the contract, I can actually just develop it. It will be at least I already have money to actually start my development for my house.
You know, for having been among the first investors, she bought the first plot and set up the first 2 plots and set up 3 greenhouses. The matter of let me just try and see. So with a net return of around 200,000 per each and every greenhouse, she was among the first lucky receivers of the first check. So when she got the first check of 600,000, you could see the excitement, tweeting about and all that. You know what? I just got paid. So agri is real, it pays, but more importantly is real estate as it is.
No, absolutely. And earlier we were talking about how you're diversifying into other produce.
Now, farming is wide. Initially, when you launched the concept, was about which crop has the highest demand in the market: capsicum, cucumbers, tomatoes, going well with an 8th. Right now, we have enough special demand coming up. Talk about the special herbs, mint, chive, basil, and all that. So if I've been wanting to buy, and the fear is, how about when the market finally clogs up with this produce? Farming is wide. Do not even scratch the surface. So we'll continue selling value-added land with newer and newer concepts based on the research that's currently happening. So for me, as a real estate investor, was a potential land investor, I don't have to fear about what if that product fails, what if it doesn't really work out, because farming is wider. What do we consume every day, and where is it being farmed? It's so good to know that it can only take place on an 8th and make money out of it as well.
Mudhoni, what would you tell a mother, a career woman who's sitting at home and thinking, okay, I do have the disposable cash. Why is this so beneficial?
Make your cash work for you. You know, most of the time you're told you put it in a circle, which the interest is less. You put it in a bank, but when you put it in land, you already have your plot, which you can dispose at any time after you're done with the contract with the capsicum guys. And you're getting your return every 3 months. So you're making, your plot is appreciating in value, which in 2 years it could probably be 3 to 4 times the value. You're getting your check every 2 to 3 months. So I think it's amazing. Just make your money work so that you save for the rainy days.
Maybe one more thing, we have the last phase of phase 4 being sold out this coming Saturday. So for you, Vicky, and to any other viewer out there. So this coming Saturday, we are in Kajiado. Transport available from Kenya Cinema, free of charge. Let's just come and see exactly what is this all about. So I welcome you all.
All right, Mudhoni and Edwin, thank you so much. The rallying call is out to you. The ball is in your court. So make sure you're here on Saturday to learn more about the benefits of agri-business. That does it for this segment by Diamond Property Merchants and Victoria's Lounge. Thanks for watching. Let's do this again next week.
Your future with Bethany City is profitable. SMS the word Kilimo to 22002. Diamond Property Merchants, your home of strategic land investment.
My teacher refused to teach me before 11 in
Yeah, I mean, remember what the past.
I don't want to be in this
So
total
then you
rubbish.
sang and then went to sleep.
No, I forehead. Thank you.
Where do I do intro?
I'm
Those
going to meet my
crochet?
mother-in-law. Why are you?
Where'd you get them?
What she's saying. Is she saying this?
Yes.
E-I.
And then put the N last.
I and then the N last.
The N last.
Cordain?
Yes.
I bet
I
it is
think
this way.
so.